Hi, Bad Gaming here, and today's weekly news are going to be a little different. For those who are new to this channel, hi, I'm actually living in the land of Sony's and Nintendo's, Japan. Most people outside of Japan don't know this, but buying games here is a completely different experience, okay? It's a completely different caliber, and not in a necessarily good way. I've lived here for almost a decade now, and I learned this the hard way, ladies and gentlemen. When Sekiro dropped a few years ago, I was hyped, walked into the store, grabbed the game, threw it into my PS4, and immediately realized there was no English option. A little disappointing, isn't it? But no way to change the language either. You know, there's no downloadable language pack, just pure unfiltered Japanese. Which is fine, but at that time my Japanese was terrible. I had to hold up Google Translate next to my screen just to figure out what potions healed me and what makes my sword stronger and stuff like that. And this wasn't a one-time thing. This is just how the Japanese gaming market works, you know, and it's okay, you get used to it in some way. So when Nintendo finally announced their console yesterday, I was super excited. Until I saw something that no one else is talking about. Nintendo just made gaming in Japan even worse. Like everyone else, I was blown away by the games, you know, Elden Ring on the Switch, bro, that's amazing. Mario Kart World looks sick. But then something felt off the entire time. They put prices and price tags on some things where you were like, oh, I have to pay for this upgrade for Zelda. I have to pay for this thing that is the equivalent of Astro's Showroom, or how it was called for the PlayStation 5 back then. I don't know, man, weird stuff. So yeah, they didn't announce the price of the console either. That was already quite fishy. So after the presentation was over, you know, we were left with a little bit of a cliffhanger there because we didn't know how much the console actually cost. So I kept refreshing the website and finally the price was there. 49,980 yen. Okay? Not too surprising for me, but then I saw the fine print, ladies and gentlemen. That price was for a Japanese only version of the console. If you want English, or any of the other 16 supported languages, you have to pay, now hold on, you have to pay another 20,000 yen. I just want you to let that sink in for a second. To buy the same console, the same thing, just to have access to languages, I have to pay 20,000 yen, which in today's time is the equivalent of around $200 here in Japan. Nintendo paywalled language, ladies and gentlemen. This is a massive L for anyone in Japan who doesn't speak Japanese, or even for Japanese people who want to play games in another language. Because here's the thing. Not all Japanese players want to play in Japanese, okay? Many prefer the English voices or grew up playing games in any other language or another language. Some games just sound better in their original language, okay? Whether it's English, French, or flippin' Korean, man. Now, Nintendo is charging them extra for that choice. This means that even if a game releases in English, everywhere else on this planet, I as a player might be locked into a Japanese-only version unless I pay extra. Isn't that crazy? And if the game itself doesn't have a built-in language option, I'm screwed, man, I'm fucked. I've adapted to this over the years. Before I buy any game, I have to check. Does it even support English? Or am I about to waste $70 on a game that I literally can't play? Most people outside of Japan have no idea how frustrating this is. Of course, region locks is a thing. If you don't know what it is, even if a game has English version in the US, it might not be available in Japan. No universal language settings, obviously, you know, just because a game can support English doesn't mean that the Japanese version will include it. And this doesn't just affect Nintendo players, don't get me wrong here, okay? PlayStation and Xbox have the same problem, and I had this issue mainly with PlayStation because I mainly play on PlayStation. This isn't just annoying, guys. This is expensive. Let's talk about expensive and the prices of the Nintendo games, ladies and gentlemen. Nintendo just normalized $100 games. You might have already seen videos discussing the $90 price tag for new Nintendo games. You know, it's going around on YouTube right now. Yeah, that's bad, but here in Japan, it's even worse. Games are being priced at 10,000 yen. With today's exchange rate, That's $100 for a single game. And if you think this won't affect other companies, think again, man. If Nintendo is doing this, what do you think Rockstar is gonna do with GTA 6? People are already talking about this. What about Call of Duty? Do you really think PlayStation will keep games at $70 after this, man? Nintendo just opened the floodgates, man, for all these people, you know? I don't know what to say. You know, most videos are talking about how expensive the new Nintendo console is, but no one is talking about how badly this screws over gamers here in Japan, man. Foreigners like me, we now have to pay just to play in our own language. Japanese players who prefer English, they're being charged extra for a simple setting. And all of this just to play the exact games everyone else is getting on this planet. This isn't just about money. It's about taking away players' choice. But yeah, what do you guys think? Is this just another bad Nintendo move, or are we witnessing the great start of a huge problem here in gaming, ladies and gentlemen? Let's talk in the comments. Bad Gamer out.